garage, you can say, in front of them. What's interesting is you have, for example, you have a person like Charlie Sheen, who everyone knows that he has alcohol problems, he's a womanizer and so forth, and he's a little bit out there, but he says it as he sees it, as he feels. And people, unfortunately, have looked at his past and they judge him and they label him and they say, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist, he's a birther, a truther. It's a label, okay? But yet Donald Trump comes out, which is a respected person. He's well known, doesn't seem to have too many skeletons in his closet. And he comes out and he says, we need to investigate on why
President Obama hasn't shown his long-form birth certificate. Now, Charlie Sheen would say that. And how would people react to him? Donald Trump says it. How did people react to him? So, I just want everyone to kind of like take a step back and realize that we are easily influenced and manipulated based on people's reputations without learning and studying for ourselves. And that's the problem, that people tend to just take everyone's word for it. And I just say, do your homework. Don't be so gullible. Research things. The internet is amazing. It can also be manipulated, but it's amazing. Use your common sense. A lot of times, things are just plain common sense. I'll ask you a simple question. Everyone talks about the Twin Towers and how it was a terrorist attack and so forth. Agreed. But nobody mentions World Trade Center Building 7. It fell. The same day it fell. Later that afternoon it fell. Unexplained, there was a fire, was not able to be contained, and the entire building fell. I just say something fishy about it. Doesn't make sense. I don't feel like I need an engineer or an architect to tell me that that's not, that wouldn't be something common on that happening. To me, that would, I mean, let's just get a bunch of blocks, put them together, and you take out a couple of blocks on the top. That doesn't mean that the bottom is going to fall, just because there's a little bit of, let's say, a little fire in this case. And even the way it fell just at a dead weight, just fell. There was no tilting over of a building, or if the fire was in one level, like the higher levels maybe being intact, or the lower levels being more of an intact versus it being just completely obliterated. So those are the questions that I ask. And you do a little bit of homework, maybe find out if, who had, who owned those buildings, what departments were in there, what files were in there. Those are questions you need to research for yourself. I'm not going to tell you. I have my own views.
the people to come up with your own conclusions and not just take what the media tells you. So take a moment and look into that. Find out who were the companies or offices in that building. Were there any particular files in that building? You know, is someone trying to hide something? How about who owned that entire building? Was their insurance money substantial to the point that maybe it was convenient for someone to have demolished that building? You know, those are basically things that I would like to see people talk about and ask questions regarding that. But people don't. The media doesn't cover it. For as mysterious as it is, the media doesn't cover it. Going back to President Obama. At the beginning, he criticized so much George Bush decision in going into Iraq. Yet, not long ago, he decided to go into Pakistan. And he continues to go into other areas. Libya. When are the troops coming home? Are they ever coming home? I understand that it's about money. Because at the end of the day, it's always about money. People think, oh no, it's about the right thing, and we're going in there because the UN, and we're there to help other countries. No. We're there to help ourselves, and it's about money. Bottom line. Don't believe me? Do some research. Do some homework. Don't be blinded by what people tell you. Look and see who's telling you that information. Just because it says it in writing doesn't mean it's true. Just because someone tells you doesn't mean it's true. Maybe what I'm telling you, and I'm full of it, maybe that's what you think. Maybe you think I'm a nut job. Hey, that's your opinion. But at least you take the time to find out a little bit about what I'm telling you. The bottom line is that there's a lot of things going on, and we just blindly accept them. And people don't realize that the way the system works is all about money. And even a lot of bills get passed. And people say, oh, well, so-and-so voted against it, so-and-so voted against it, so-and-so was for it. Well, it doesn't pass. And then they try it again, and it finally passes. What they fail to tell you is that they put in additional funding, maybe for the city of those people that didn't pass it the first time. Or maybe they have a foundation. And they didn't tell you that there was an extra $1 million or $1 billion for that foundation, for the study of earthworms. So all I'm saying is that it's all about money. And people tend to allow themselves to fall into that. And I've always seen that our current president has set things up so right now we're not being taxed on certain things, but maybe in 2012 or 2014 a tax may go into play, and people do not inform themselves enough about when things that are submitted maybe to supposedly benefit the country ends up being taken out of the taxpayer's pocket. And they don't start collecting till after he's out of office. And if he's reelected, who really cares? It's his last term. He can do whatever he wants. But people don't see that. They only see the guy who rolls up his sleeves and is sociable with the people, goes out and plays a little soccer with kids in the streets, maybe goes and plays some basketball. He's just like you and I. And for that reason, people need to take the time to get to know the person inside. Because at the end of the day, the clothes is not what makes us. It's what's in here and what's in here. Thank you for tuning in to this week's E Speaks For You channel.